Okay, amazing. Hi, everybody. We are hopping on for an impromptu lunchtime chat with my amazing soul sister and the brilliant Taoist feminine sexual alchemy teacher, Máire Niji. Here she is. Hi, Moira. Okay, I'm going to add her now. Here we go. Moira's been a friend of mine for years, and I've been in her program. Here she is, my love. Hi.
Hi, Lydia. How are you?
I know we had like our couple of minutes check in offline, but it's just gorgeous to be on this.
Yeah.
Um, and thank you. This is the first time I've done this. And I just really, yeah, when I heard that you were opening up your feminine sexual alchemy container for another 9 week round this springtime, I was like, oh my gosh, like, can we hop on and chat about it? People need to know about this beautiful work that you're doing and this incredible container that you hold. So,
Oh,
yeah, thanks for joining.
oh, thank you, Lydia. All right. Thanks
Yeah.
for inviting me. And yeah, I'm really excited for this round of
Mm.
Feminine Sexual Alchemy, or we call it FSA for short. But yeah, really looking forward to diving in with a new group of women around this work because yeah, it's truly transformational, and I think it's so worthwhile to focus on our sexual selves. And a lot of times we really don't prioritize that. It is literally
Mm.
at the bottom of the to-do list. And one of the things that I notice happens a lot is our sexual wellness is not centered in the world that we live in, and
Yeah.
it's just so important that it is. So
And I love how, like, even in your program, the first half of it is about vitality and emotional awareness and management through the organs, through the body, somatic intelligence, before we begin to even get into anything like overtly erotic or sexual. And it, even in that in itself, what you were demonstrating to me was the interweaving and the layering of all the different parts of us as women, that we cannot isolate our sexuality from our emotional health, from our organ health. And at the same time, our emotional health and our organ health is going to have an impact on our sexuality and how we relate as erotic beings. So
Mhm.
tell us about this work that you do, and yeah, tell us about it.
Mm. Yeah, well, I think that's a really important part is around the foundation. So really getting
Yeah.
a solid base in. So for example, like you said, the first couple of modules, we focus on physical vitality. So through Qigong practice, and also working on the organs. So learning how to balance out the organs through energy meditations, like the inner smile, the six healing sounds. And then from there, so that really, there's a lot of like nervous system regulation that happens. And that's kind of like the footing. That's the kind of the foundations that we're working off. And then from there, then I also work a lot on a little bit more going from this from a psychology point of view. And this
Mm.
comes from the work that I've done in passion and presence, where we do a lot of erotic rewiring. So learning how to release the layers of shame, and we all have shame for sure in terms of yeah, particularly around women's sexuality,
Mm.
and kind of rewriting our own erotic blueprint, and learning things like what is a full body yes. This is really important, and some of that comes from the trauma work that I've done, and where often I find that women are like maybe overriding their body.
And
And
not even aware that we're doing it.
oh, completely. Yeah, yeah. It's really, yeah, really common. So just learning how to slow down, learning how to understand your body when it's ready to open and receive. Um, and then, of course, then we have like a lot of like very powerful Taoist practices that are based on sexual energy cultivation. So these are like practices that we do through, like, they can be breast practices, also pelvic practices. So doing things like the jade egg is really, really important as well. So yeah.
What I love about your work is how you blend your background as an occupational therapist, as a scientist, as a social scientist, and with Western psychology, trauma, consent, wheel of consent, somatic intelligence. And you marry all of this like really rigorous, critically important modern Western psychological scientific approach with this like glorious, like open, ever extensive well of shamanic wisdom and Taoist intelligence and this sort of deep, the deep mystic in you. And I think that blend of the ancient and the modern, of the East and the West, at least for me, is one of the real evolutionary calls at this time for like how in our body, how in our bodies are we the doulas for the life that's dying and for the life that's being born at this moment in time on the planet where systems are falling, where there is no one right answer, where the age of the guru is dead, where single focus power structures are falling apart at the seams. How can we in our own bodies be the vessels, be the doulas for new life, while not denying where we come from, not denying lineages of hundreds and thousands of years. And I think your work does this through the teaching of feminine sexual alchemy in a really like, it's a really sort of evolutionarily appropriate way.
Oh, wow. Thanks for sharing that, Lydia. Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, I'm coming more towards it as like embodied erotic vitality. This is the
Mm.
method. And it's that it's all rooted in somatic practice, which is really important. And like you said, taking these different strands and yeah, for sure, my training as an occupational therapist is very much there. Not just in the kind of the rigorous science, but also in terms of, I worked a lot in the area of learning difficulties. And so actually helping people to explore this, to understand it, to integrate it is kind of my jam. Like, I love that. And I remember actually last year, there was a woman, I did the program. She was like, I've never signed up for an online course where the facilitator actually cared this much that I did it, And I think, yeah, I was just so happy to hear that because, yeah, that is my passion as well. It is also around learning and being able to integrate this, like for it to have like a use case, that it's not just, oh, I did this course once, it felt great. It's like, no, like this is so hugely transformative. Be able to tap into your sexual energy. Yeah, and how can we use that? Like, mostly, of course, we want to use it for our own pleasure, for to really expand our orgasmic potential. But also, this is this hugely creative energy source. And a lot of women that I work with, they have their own business or they're in places of leadership. Or they're have kids and they want to feel really creative and energized as well. And so these practices and this framework, like, it really brings you into place of easy access to that creative drive, that creative force, and that's a lot of what Eros is as well. It's that creativity as well. It's to feel sexually alive, to really feel it in your body. And sometimes, for example, I have women who maybe are afraid to like join a program like this because they're like, oh, I'm not in a relationship. I haven't had sex for like 2 years or something like that. And or more, longer, a lot of times as well. And that's okay. It's okay to like to name that, but also you can feel like a really open, sexually alive being, whether you're in relationship or not. And oftentimes, I do find that when women start to work on their sexual energy, if they are, maybe not in a relationship, that they often start to attract in, relationship as well, which it can be really beautiful. And it's not just for that, by the way. I think
Yeah.
it's more for yourself. It's more to feel really alive within yourself. It's a real calling home to yourself, and also just to give the context. We were kind of giving this more global context, like
Mm.
we're living in a time when there's a geopolitical crisis, like you say, so many systems are falling down. There's climate change. It can feel very overwhelming, and sometimes this can be the last thing that people have on their minds, is to focus on their sexual selves. And actually, it's this huge resource. So we've been trained to and educated to push this down. There's been this huge suppression to not be in contact with your sexual self, because it's the most powerful energy we have. It should be.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like, keep them down, keep those women down.
Low vitality keeps the system going.
Oh my God. Yeah. So, to be really in your sovereignty is to be connected to your sexual self, because it offers us this, it's an infinite resource of energy for us, for creativity, for, free spirited, to be independent. And so it's also understandable as well that people don't really maybe understand how important this is, or that it's gone down to the bottom of the pile, when people are feeling stressed, overwhelmed by what's happening in the world. And so it's a bit of a call out, it's a bit of a call to revolution, to be like, yes, even in these times, even in the chaos, even in the overwhelm, this is the place to return to, because in many ways, this is what can really, really save us, to have access to that vitality. Then we can create change,
And there's such nervous system care as well in your
Mm,
work. Like there's just not only the kind of East and West and the ancient and the modern, but the quality of the container that you hold being so learning and application and relational field focused. But also, yeah, like you're sort of touching on there, the tending to the nervous system and the equipping for women of how to look after our nervous system in times of chaos. And that is revolutionary, because it's so easy to just get swept up in the anger or the outrage or the overwhelm, all of which is totally valid. But
mm,
actually, the ninja move is like, can we be with that external intensity, with the chaos in the world at the moment, and hold our sovereignty and
mm,
resource ourselves in our pelvis and stay grounded with the earth, with our bodies as earth,
mm.
and connection with our sexuality and our vitality is, yeah, a huge portal in for that. It's an end, it's a means and an end.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do think it's like, it's a really expansive, um, it's a very expansive view to come from when you do this kind of Taoist practice, because we do a lot of rooting into the earth, and then we also start to open up, we open up kind of a little bit more up into the cosmos as well.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and it's, that's so empowering when you start to learn how to move energy in your body. And everybody has that ability, and, I always hear it every year. People are so excited. They're like, oh my God, I could feel energy moving in my body. And yeah, that's just so amazing, actually,
Yeah.
to feel, and yeah, to hear that from folks as well as they're going through the program. Just that sense of like, yeah, we have this power within us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So tell me about the program. Give us the basics, like logistics, plan, dates, all that kind of crack. Who's it
Sure.
for?
Yes. Okay. Well, I would say it's for any woman who wants to feel more sexually alive in their bodies and to have access, to the greatest resource that we have within ourselves, because sexual energy is the most powerful energy that we have. And so it is a 9-week program. And a lot of people who come to do this program are women who are feeling tired, burnt out, low libido, have maybe sex might be uncomfortable or painful. A lot of women going through perimenopause, menopause. I know that was my experience. Over, like in my 20s, where I had low libido. For me, sex was painful as a result of sexual trauma. And also that I tend to have a lot of women who are coming to this just going like, do you know what? I just feel like there's more to this,
Yeah.
to have this more expansive, almost like cosmic experience of what sex is, or this ability to tap into this creative energy. So a lot of women will come with that in mind as well. And so it's a 9-week program. You get lifetime access to it, so you can come back to it again and again. So I really see this as tools for life, and no matter what you're going through in life. And like that, I have women like 3 and 4 years later emailing me saying, "Oh, I just did this practice again," and
Yeah.
so yeah. Um, and then I also have, so the modules you get kind of week by week, and then you can dip into that in your own time. And then we have a live weekly support circle. So that adds kind of an extra layer of accountability. So that it doesn't turn into the graveyard of online courses on your laptop. And and there's also like an ongoing community space where you can ask questions or share or support each other the whole way through. And also I do some kind of live teachings around, that erotic rewiring and understanding more the role of like shame, the messaging that we grew up with, that we internalized, maybe don't even realize that program is running. And so like I said, there's a lot of like qigong practices, learning how to move energy. We do some practices to help with hormones, particularly the breast massage.
Yeah.
We have another practice called the 9-flower massage, which is really good for the hormones, the endocrine system, and it lights that up. And so we learn how to direct sexual energy into the endocrine system. And we do a jade egg ritual as well, which is a great, amazing practice in terms of your erotic vitality. It brings so much blood flow, so much chi into your pelvis. And that's really transformative as well. So,
And you do that with such integrity and spiritual grounding and nervous system awareness. It's just, yeah, that it's exquisite. I just want to particularly speak to that because there are a lot of people out there doing really shitty attempts at jade egg ceremonies, and your work, Moira, is like so pristine and so grounded. You stand out a mile. When does the program start and how can people hear more?
so the doors close on Wednesday this
Cool.
week. Yeah. So, and I only
So
run this
that's the
program
24th,
5th,
5th. Okay,
25th.
25th.
Yeah. And I just run this program once a year. And so it's in the springtime where there's also this rise of energy. So it's like very applicable. The wood element is also connected with spring, which also has to do with desire. Um, doors close on Wednesday. And you can find the link in my bio. You'll find it on my website, femininesexualalchemy.com.
Amazing. So thank you everybody for joining. And yeah, if you want to hear more, learn more, hop on over to Moira's Instagram page, check out femininesexualalchemy.com. I'm going to be joining the cohort this time round. I've had amazing experiences in the past. I find the practices. I still do the breast massage twice a day, morning and evening in my shower. And if
Mhm.
I don't, I get cysts and growths and blocked energy. It's phenomenal. So I'm looking forward to diving in and yeah, like revisit. It's been a few years since I've done it. And as a 44-year-old woman, body is very different. So it's like kind of, yeah, time to awaken that nyart, awaken that desire, that springtime vitality. And then if it gets to be applied to my own sexuality or lovership with another, amazing. And if not, it's health and vitality. It's my own erotic capacity and energy. And that's really what's most important. So thank you so much for joining, Moira.
Thanks so much, Lydia. Thank
Yeah.
you.
See you soon, love. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.